Did you know your gut has more neurons than your spinal cord? It's a complex network, a whole world of activity happening right there in your abdomen. It's constantly communicating, processing, and reacting to everything you eat and feel. They call it the second brain. And honestly, sometimes it feels like it has a mind of its own. Mine? It's a heckler. Always ready with a rude comment at the worst possible time. Always picking the worst moments to act up, like a mischievous gremlin stirring up trouble. Like right before I go on stage. The pressure is on, the lights are blinding, and my gut decides to throw a party. A painful one. For years I thought feeling off was just part of life. Something everyone dealt with. You push through, right? You tell yourself it's just a bad day and tomorrow will be better. But my body had other plans. It started a rebellion, a full-blown uprising against my best-laid plans. Usually at the most inconvenient times. My name is Evan. You know me from TV, but behind the scenes I was dealing with two troublemakers. A dynamic duo of discomfort. IBS and MS sounds like a law firm, right? IBS and MS, attorneys at law suing me for my energy and comfort. They were relentless, chipping away at my well-being, one symptom at a time. I had to figure out how to win this case and get my life back. I needed to find a way to silence the heckler and reclaim my stage. When you're in the business of making people happy, you can't just say, "Sorry, my intestines are staging a protest." The audience wouldn't understand, and frankly, they wouldn't care. I had to manage the chaos and keep the show running. The spotlight waits for no one, especially not a malfunctioning digestive system. It was time to take back the mic. It was time to rewrite my story. One where I was the protagonist, not the victim. Pause, then with a wink in the voice. "Hey, quick gut check, are you still with me? Thanks for sticking around through my body's stand-up routine. If you're enjoying this wild ride through my digestive drama, now's the perfect time to give that thumbs up button a little love, trust me, it doesn't bite. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next round of my adventures. I promise, it's only going to get weirder from here. Got your own stories of your body misbehaving or just want to say hi? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, usually from the comfort of my favorite bathroom. Your support is the real MVP here. Every like, sub, and comment helps this channel grow faster than my anxiety before a doctor's appointment. So thank you. Now back to the chaos. Life threw me a curveball, or rather a double whammy. It decided to introduce me to two rather unwelcome guests, each with their own unique brand of chaos. IBS and MS, Irritable Bowel Syndrome, and Multiple Sclerosis. IBS is that unpredictable friend. The one you can never quite rely on. One minute everything's fine, you're laughing, feeling good. The next it's causing a scene over absolutely nothing, leaving you scrambling for the nearest exit. Every meal was a gamble. A high-stakes game of digestive roulette. Maybe this salad is safe, a beacon of hope in a sea of potential discomfort, or maybe even water is too risky, a hidden trigger lurking in the most innocent of substances. MS is sneakier, more insidious. It's like a mischievous relative slowly unplugging things around the house one by one without you noticing at first. Sometimes my brain and feet, the communication lines, just stop talking, leaving me stranded and disconnected. And the fatigue? It hit like a freight train, completely out of the blue. No amount of coffee, no matter how many cups I downed, could even begin to fix it. Living with both IBS and MS was like juggling flaming torches on a tightrope, with a hurricane thrown in for good measure. My days became a meticulously planned map of bathroom locations, a constant mental calculation. I could practically write a travel guide, a very specific one. Best bathrooms of Burbank, a connoisseur's guide to porcelain thrones. MS meant rationing energy like it was the most precious gold, carefully budgeting every ounce. On the outside, I often looked perfectly fine, seemingly normal, but inside I was fighting a relentless war, a constant battle against my own body. People didn't always get why I had to cancel plans, often at the last minute, or why I couldn't just power through like they suggested, as if it were a simple choice. Some days I felt so utterly defeated, completely drained and exhausted, disconnected from my own body, like a stranger in my own skin. And for someone who lives to connect with others, who thrives on human interaction, that disconnect was the cruelest joke of all, a bitter irony that was hard to swallow. Every meal was a risk, a potential minefield of discomfort. The simple act of choosing what to eat became a source of anxiety. I'd scan menus like I was defusing a bomb, meticulously searching for ingredients that wouldn't trigger a reaction. It was exhausting. I love food, the flavors, the textures, the experience of sharing a meal with friends. But I started to fear it, to associate it with pain and uncertainty. The joy was replaced by dread. Once a chef made a gorgeous pasta dish, a culinary masterpiece on my show. The aroma alone was intoxicating. I ate one noodle, just one tiny bite, smiled, trying to project confidence and enjoyment, and prayed that my stomach wouldn't betray me. IBS flare-ups struck at the worst times, unpredictable and relentless. Like right before a big interview. The pressure was immense. I'd sprint to the bathroom, a desperate dash against the clock, then return and blame traffic, offering a sheepish apology and hoping no one suspected the truth. MS fatigue was next level. It was an invisible weight constantly dragging me down. Not, I need a nap. That was a luxury I couldn't afford. More like, I need to be cryogenically frozen, preserved until a time when energy wasn't a finite resource. My brain would buffer mid-conversation, leaving me struggling to find the right words. I'd just nod and hope for the best, praying that I wasn't agreeing to something completely absurd. The combo was brutal, a relentless assault on my body and mind. MS made me exhausted, sapping my strength and motivation. Stress triggered IBS, sending my digestive system into overdrive. And IBS stress poked the MS bear, exacerbating my neurological symptoms. It was a ridiculous cycle, a vicious loop of cause and effect. Like they were coordinating attacks, a tag team of torment. IBS caused chaos in the south, a rumbling rebellion in my gut. MS stole my energy from the north, leaving me drained and depleted. I was fighting a war on two fronts, a constant battle against my own body. With nothing but Pepto-Bismol and hope, a meager arsenal against such formidable foes. But I wasn't ready to give up. I knew I had to find a way to fight back, to reclaim my life from these relentless conditions. I declared war starting with the internet. I read every blog, tried every diet, and even considered standing on my head humming Dancing Queen. I went gluten-free, dairy-free, fun-free, my taste buds filed for divorce. The low FODMAP diet, basically nothing tasty allowed. I tried acupuncture, became a human pincushion meditation, my brain just made to-do lists. Aromatherapy, yoga, swimming, every attempt felt like one step forward, two steps back. With MS, even gentle exercise was a challenge. My downward dog looked like a collapsing flamingo. I was desperate for relief, but nothing seemed to work. Every new therapy was a clumsy dance of trial and error. I was exhausted, frustrated, and ready to quit. But then, a new doctor listened. She said, "Your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight." That was my light bulb moment. The real battle was calming my whole system, not just treating symptoms. The turning point wasn't a magic pill, it was a shift in perspective. I stopped fighting my body and started working with it. I focused on calming my nervous system, gentle yoga, real meditation, and breathing exercises that actually helped. I switched to an anti-inflammatory diet, adding foods that made my body feel safe, not punished. It wasn't about restriction but nourishment. I learned to tell my body, we're not being chased by a tiger, you can relax. Stress management became my new superpower. For the first time in years, my body started to listen, my symptoms eased, and I felt more like myself. The real magic was kindness, to my body and myself. Healing started with compassion. The biggest lesson? Look at the big picture. My body wasn't broken, it was out of balance. Calming my nervous system was key, saying no, protecting my peace, and finding joy. Laughter really is medicine. An anti-inflammatory lifestyle, more veggies, healthy fats, less sugar, helped my symptoms. Gentle movement, especially dancing, became my therapy. Now IBS and MS are backseat passengers, not driving my life. I have more good days, more energy, and more peace. If you're on a similar journey, you're not alone. Be kind to your body and keep dancing.